Hi, Larry Gaines, Power Cycle Trading. Well, we got a big market mover today, big spike up, and a lot of that was caused by kind of a rattling of the bond markets. We had, if you heard on the news, there was the inverted yield curve, the 2-year and the 10-year inverted on that yield. But you can see here that this is the 10-year note. Okay, so it had a big explosive move up. So broke back above that 200-day moving average, back to the top of this channel. Very strong momentum. So just an explosive move up. Now, over the last couple of months, we've had bonds moving down. So interest rates moving up, Fed moving the rates higher, higher, higher. So the market has been massively, pretty much the big trade has been to be short bonds. So a lot of this got spiked up and you see a lot of short covering and it got a major spike. So that could continue. Okay, so here's a potential trade setup that you might want to look at, and this would be using TLT. So let's bring up TLT, which is the bond ETF. Okay, so let me bring that up. So here's the TLT bond ETF, and you can see here's the weekly time frame, big spike back above this 21 period moving average coming into the 50. So huge move up and then spike back up here to the 200-day. So there's huge amount of volume going through on the calls up here, the 121, 127. So one potential trade might be to look to do butterflies targeting an upside potential move even further, and that using a butterfly strategy, you can really reduce your risk and have high returns. So let's take a look at the January monthly option series, and I'll show you what I'm seeing. So one thing you can see here from the December monthly, 21, almost 22,000 calls were bought today. So a huge amount of call buying there. But then when you look at the January monthly, here's what really pops out. You look at the January monthly, there's a huge amount of buying on the 121 calls right here. The 121 calls, 23,000 calls, and then the 127. So call spread here, potential call debit spread, very cheap, 65 cents, and then that was 11. So for about 50 cents, okay? So some big bets that this market could push higher. The potential for that, the implied expected move is for about $3.50 up, so that puts you up really only to about 120 in that level, 121. So one possible trade, really cheap way to do this would be to do a butterfly targeting this strike right here, the 121 strike. So that's a way to play the markets to the upside or downside with very little risk. And if you'd like to learn more about that, join me tomorrow night, Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be talking about these types of strategies, butterflies and condors and things like that. They're very, very perfectly designed strategies for trading high volatility markets. All right, hope this helps. I'll talk to you on my next video update. Now, one quick additional note. So if you ever want to see what we've got coming up, go to my website, powercycletrading.com. And you'll see this link up here, upcoming live webinars. So whatever we've got coming up, live courses, webinars, whatever, will be the links in here. So just click on that and it'll pull up. You can see here what we're going to be talking about tomorrow and also Saturday. So what you need to know about options and strategies to use, butterflies, condors, strangles, and more. So we'll have two different dates. Tomorrow, Wednesday the 5th at 6 p.m. Eastern, or if you want to join us Saturday, you can do it here. So just put your name, email address, etc., and we'll see you there.